Dear students, this video is on class 10 chapter 15 part 4. So today's topic is how do our activities affect the environment. That means due to the human activities how the environment is affected. We are an integral part of the environment. So as you know that human being is the part of the environment as well as the ecosystem. Changes in the environment affect us and our activities change the environment around us. So due to the change in the environment, it is very badly affected to the human being, and due to the activities of human there is a lot of changes in the environment. That means both are mutually dependent to each other. That is why every activities in the environment which can produce some changes and that can affect the both to one another. We have already seen in class 9 how our activities pollute the environment. So in class 9 we have discussed the pollution, that is water pollution, soil pollution, sound pollution, air pollution, etc. How they are producing in the environment and what are the effect we can get in the human being. In this chapter we shall be looking at two of the environmental problems in detail, that is depletion of the ozone layer and waste disposal. So in this chapter we will discuss two important environmental problems. One is called depletion of the ozone layer and another is waste disposal. So first of all we will study about the ozone layer and how it is getting depleted. So what is ozone? Ozone is a molecule formed by 3 atoms of oxygen. That means in ozone there are 3 atoms of oxygen and it forms O3 molecule. So this O3 molecule is called ozone, while O2, which we normally refer to as oxygen, is essential for all aerobic forms of life. So as you know that oxygen is required for all the aerobic respiration, that means all the animals. But ozone is a deadly poison. Although this ozone is formed by oxygen atom, but it is very poisonous for every individual. However, at the higher levels of the atmosphere, ozone performs an essential function. But this ozone can perform a very important function in the atmosphere. It shields the surface of the earth from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So it can act as a blanket or it can act as a layer which can protect us from UV radiation. So what is UV radiation? UV radiation means the ultraviolet radiation which are coming from the sun. So this is very harmful, that it can causes some diseases in the human being, and this can be prevented by this ozone layer. So this ozone layer is formed in the atmosphere, that is called at the stratosphere in the atmosphere. This radiation is highly damaging to organisms. So this UV radiation is very much dangerous for every organism. For example, it is known to cause skin cancer in human beings. So it can cause skin cancer in the human being. Now how this ozone is formed in the higher level of the atmosphere? So first of all, ozone at the higher levels of the atmosphere is a product of UV radiation acting on oxygen molecule. So how this ozone is formed? Ozone is formed by the action of UV radiation. The higher energy UV radiation split apart some molecular oxygen into free oxygen atoms. So you can see here, so this oxygen atom when undergoes in the action of UV radiation, it breaks or splits into oxygen atom like this. So these are the two atoms which are formed by this oxygen molecule in the higher levels of the atmosphere by the action of UV radiation. These atoms then combine with the molecular oxygen to form ozone as shown. So again this oxygen atom combines with this O2 molecule to form ozone, that is O3 molecule. So in this way O3 molecule or ozone is formed at the higher levels of atmosphere by the action of UV radiation. the amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in the 1980s. That means how this ozone is going to be decreases in the atmosphere. This decrease has been linked to synthetic chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons, which are used as refrigerants and in fire extinguishers. So the decrease in the ozone is due to the chemical, that is chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon, it is formed from two important appliances, that is refrigerators and fire extinguishers. So this can produce CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, and it can affect in the ozone layer and hence it gets depleted. In 1987, the United Nations Environment Program succeeded in forging an agreement to freeze CFC production at 1986 levels. So one organization, that is United Nations Environment Program, in short it is called UNEP, had forging an agreement to stop the CFC production from 1986. So it is now mandatory for all the manufacturing companies to make CFC free refrigerators throughout the world. So due to this agreement, no companies can produce refrigerators which can produce CFC. That means the companies should prepare CFC free refrigerators in the world. Next topic is managing the garbage we produce. In our daily activities, we generate a lot of material that are thrown away. So in our day-to-day life, we are producing a lot of waste material which we thrown away. What are some of these waste materials? What happens after we throw them away? Let us perform an activity to find answer to this activity. So this activity is not important. So you can see here, we have seen in the chapter on life processes that the food we eat is digested by various enzymes in our body. In chapter 6 we have seen that in life processes there are some enzyme which helps in the digestion in our body. Have you ever wondered why the same enzyme does not break down everything we eat? So can we see that every enzyme do not act on every food item whatever we eat? Enzymes are specific in their function. Specific enzymes are needed for the breakdown of a particular substance. So to digest a particular substance, it requires a specific enzyme. That means enzymes are specific in nature. That is why we will not get any energy if we try to eat quail. So why we do not get any energy when we eat quail? Because there is no such enzyme which can digest the quail. Because of this, many human-made materials like plastics will not be broken down by the action of bacteria or other saprophytes. So this is the reason why there is no degradation of the plastics or most of the material produced by human being in the nature. So they are not degraded by the microorganism like bacteria or other saprophytes. These materials will be acted upon by physical processes like heat and pressure, but under the ambient conditions found in our environment, disperse it for a long time. So this material, that means those materials which are not degraded by the action of bacteria or any other microorganism, this acted upon only the natural or physical processes like heat and pressure. So under this ambient condition, this type of materials do not degrade in the nature, but they are persist for a long time, or they are remaining in the environment for a longer time. Substances that are broken down by biological processes are said to be biodegradable. That means those substances which are degraded by the microorganism are called biodegradable substances. So for example, you can take the vegetable waste, paper, piece of wood, etc. are example of biodegradable. How many of the substances you buried were biodegradable. Substances that are not broken down in this manner are said to be non-biodegradable. Non-biodegradable are the substances which are not broken into simpler pieces by the action of microorganisms. For example, plastic, polythene, etc. These substances may be inert and simply persist in the environment for a long time or may harm the various members of the ecosystem. So this type of material, that means the non-biodegradable substances, are inert in nature, that is why they persist in the environment for a longer time, and that may harm to the human beings as well as it also harm in the ecosystem. So visit any town or city and we are sure to find heaps of garbage all over the place. So in the city or town we are able to see a lot of waste material which are kept in one side and make a heap of that garbage. Visit any place of tourist interest and we are sure to find the place littered with empty food wrappers. In the tourist interest place also there are a lot of materials producing by the people are kept in a place to make a litter area. In the earlier classes we have talked about this problem of dealing with the garbage that we generate. So in the previous class, that means in class 9 also, there is a topic for this disposal of this waste material produced by the tourist interest places. Improvements in our lifestyle have resulted in greater amounts of waste material generation. So due to the standard of the living style of the human people, there is a generation of waste material in the nature. Change in attitude also have a role to play with more and more things we use becoming disposable. So due to the change in the attitude also, nowadays we are producing a lot of waste material which should be disposed in the environment. Changes in packaging have resulted in much of our waste becoming non-biodegradable. That means nowadays most of the people are using plastic material or some other material which are non-biodegradable used for packaging, and in this way there is a lot of waste material producing in the environment by the human people, and it can affect the environment, and that effect may also affect the human being. So in this way this chapter is finished, and the question answer you can write in your notebook. Thank you.